Hello students, welcome to my channel. In today's class we are going to discuss about Mendeleev's periodic law. This Mendeleev periodic law is purely based upon atomic weights. It is based upon atomic weight. So he defined a law called Mendeleev periodic law basing upon atomic weight. So that is, the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. So this is the Mendeleev periodic law. So the properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. So basing on this law, he designed a periodic table called Mendeleev's periodic table. That is Mendeleev's periodic table. This Mendeleev periodic table consists of several rows and columns. So this periodic table consists of 8 columns. 8 columns. These are called groups. And it consists of 12 rows called periods. It consists of 8 vertical columns called groups and 12 horizontal rows called periods. So this Mendeleev periodic table is designed purely based upon atomic weights. So because the periodic properties of elements are the periodic functions of atomic weights. Okay, the physical and chemical properties of all elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. So that means he classified the elements depending upon their atomic weight and classified and designed a periodic table called Mendeleev periodic table. That periodic table consists of 8 vertical columns called groups and 12 horizontal rows called periods. So in this periodic table, the first 3 periods are called short periods. These are called short periods. Whereas the remaining are called long periods. The remaining periods are called long periods. So the first 3 periods are called short periods. So in most of the examination, he asked so many questions based upon this Mendeleev periodic law or Mendeleev periodic table. So how many groups are there and how many periods are there in Mendeleev periodic table? And he asked sometimes depending upon the elements present in Mendeleev periodic table. So what are the different types of elements? So we have to discuss all these properties. So let us discuss one by one. So be concentrate. So in this periodic table, the first element, that is the hydrogen. The first element, hydrogen, exhibits both the properties of first A group elements and seventh A group elements. So that's why the position of hydrogen is in 2 places, that is in first A group elements and also in second A group elements. So here the hydrogen exhibits the properties of first A group elements, that is alkali metals, and also the properties of sixth A group elements, that is halogens. So it exhibits both properties. That's why the hydrogen is placed at 2 positions. And next one. So the first 3 elements, the first 3 period elements are called typical elements. Typical elements. The first 3 period elements will exhibit low atomic weights. These will possess low atomic weights, that is the elements from hydrogen to chlorine. These will exhibit low atomic weights. So these elements are called typical elements. So the first 3 period elements are called typical elements. Sometimes he asks like that, which of the following are the typical elements? So the first 3 period elements in Mendeleev periodic table are called typical elements. Okay. And next one, he observed some triads which belongs to 8th group elements. So in 8th group there exist some triads. Those triads are nothing but iron, cobalt and nickel. This is one triad. Ruthenium, rhodium and palladium, osmium, iridium and platinum. So these are called transition triads. These generally belongs to transition elements. So that's why these are called transition triads. Okay. So which of the following are the transition triads? He asked like that. In examination he asked like this, which of the following are the transition triads? So these transition triads belongs to 8th group in Mendeleev periodic table. Remember, So these transition triads belongs to 8th group elements in Mann-Leaf periodic table. So these are the main features of the Mann-Leaf periodic table. So this Mann-Leaf periodic table strictly based upon atomic weights. That means the physical and chemical properties of these elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. So this is the Mann-Leaf periodic law. And what are the advantages of this Mann-Leaf periodic law or Mann-Leaf periodic table? So there are so many advantages and disadvantages are there. We have to go through with all these advantages and disadvantages. So now let us move on to advantages. Advantages of this Mann-Leaf periodic table. So here it simplifies the study of elements. So because if you know one property of one group element, you can predict the properties of all group elements. So here it simplifies the study of the properties of the elements. So that is the first advantage. It simplifies the properties of element, and it also involves the discovery of new elements. So basing on this periodic table, we can easily discover some element, because he identified some elements which have similar properties like boron. That means the boron exhibits some properties. So they identified another element which is having similar properties. Then that element is called Eka boron. So later onwards they identified that the element is not boron, but it exhibits the similar properties of boron. Then that element is called scandium. Later it is called as scandium. So in the similar way they identified three elements like Eka aluminum. So because this Eka aluminum exhibits similar properties with aluminum, it is called as Eka aluminum. But later onwards he identified that is gallium. Eka aluminum is nothing but gallium. And Eka silicon means which exhibits the properties of silicon, but it is not the silicon. It is later identified as germanium. So sometimes he asks like that, which of the following is Eka aluminum? So gallium is called Eka aluminum. You have to remember these points. So here in the discovery of new elements, this periodic table plays a vital role. And next one, so he corrected the atomic masses. So atomic mass of beryllium. So Mann-Leaf corrected the atomic mass of beryllium. He asked like that sometimes. So which of the following elements atomic mass was corrected by Mann-Leaf? That is beryllium. So here in olden days they thought that beryllium is a trivalent atom. So previously they thought that beryllium is a trivalent atom. If it is a trivalent atom, then generally the equivalent weight of beryllium is equal to 4.5. If it is a trivalent atom, then what about its atomic weight? Then atomic weight is equal to equivalent weight into valency. That means it is a trivalent atom, then it will become 13.5. So the atomic weight will become 13.5. So since this periodic table is based upon atomic weight, so we should place the elements according to their atomic weights. So if the atomic weight is this one, we have to place this element, that is beryllium, in between carbon and nitrogen. Atomic weight of carbon is 12 and nitrogen is 14. So here it is in between these two values. That's why beryllium should be placed here. But it is not correct, because the properties of beryllium are not in intermediate between these two. So later onwards they identified the valency. They corrected it, the valency. The beryllium valency is 2, that is it is divalent atom or bivalent atom. Then its atomic weight is equal to equivalent weight 4.5 into 2, that's why it is equal to 9. Then what is the position of this 9? In between lithium and boron. So lithium 7 atomic weight and boron 11 atomic weight. Then 9 is in between these two. So that's why here the beryllium should be in between these two, lithium, beryllium and boron. So this is the correct order, and the properties are matched here. Okay, here the properties are not intermediate between carbon and nitrogen, but here the beryllium properties are intermediate between lithium and boron. So that's why this is the correct order. So he corrected the atomic mass of beryllium. So in olden days the atomic mass of beryllium is considered as 13.5, but here the atomic weight is 9. Okay, so this is the advantages of this period. So this is advantages of this periodic table. Now let us come on to drawbacks. So there are several drawbacks are also there. So what are the different drawbacks of this periodic table? So drawbacks. So listen carefully, don't skip off the video because there are so many points are there. So any point can be asked in your competitive examinations. So the first one is, what are the drawbacks? So he cannot identify the position of hydrogen. He cannot identify the position of hydrogen. So because hydrogen exhibits both properties, it behaves as first A group elements and also 7th A group elements. That's why he cannot give the clear picture of position of hydrogen atom. And next, so since this periodic table is based upon atomic weights, it is based upon atomic weights. So if the element having different atomic weights, they should be placed in different positions. So the elements which are having different atomic weights are nothing but isotopes. Isotopes. So isotopes means the elements having same atomic number but different mass numbers. So if the elements will have different masses, that means different atomic masses or atomic weights, they will occupy different positions in the periodic table. So he cannot give any different any position to isotopes. So in this periodic table there is no any position to isotopes. So this is another drawback. And next one, so some similar elements are separated in periodic table, some similar elements. So the elements which are exhibiting similar properties will be separated. Suppose if you take copper and mercury, so these two will metals, these two will exhibit similar chemical properties. These exhibit similar chemical properties, but these are placed in different groups. If you take another pair, that is gold and platinum, so these will exhibit similar properties. Copper and mercury, gold and platinum exhibits similar chemical properties, but they will be placed in different groups. Okay. And next one, dissimilar elements will be placed in similar group. Dissimilar elements are placed in same group, Dissimilar elements will exhibit different properties. They are grouped together in the same group. So that is another drawback. So if you take lithium, sodium, potassium, these will exhibit different properties, but these are grouped together in a single group. Okay. And if you take copper, silver and gold, so these also exhibits, these are grouped in a similar group, but they will exhibit different properties. Okay, dissimilar elements are placed in same group. So this is another drawback. And next one, so lanthanides and actinides does not have any fixed position. So generally lanthanides and actinides will exhibit special properties, but these do not have any position in the periodic table. Lanthanides and actinides position cannot be explained by this periodic table. And next one, there exists some anomalous pair. Generally this periodic table is based upon atomic weights. That means he arranged the elements in the order of increasing atomic weights, but there are some pair of elements are there. Those pair of elements are not in accordance with periodic law. That means they are not arranged in the increasing order of atomic weights. If you take the elements like argon and potassium, this argon atomic weight is 39.95 and potassium atomic weight is 39.10. So these two atomic weights, so here argon having high atomic weight is placed before potassium. So this is not in accordance with periodic law. So similarly, if you take cobalt and nickel, this is another pair, cobalt and nickel. Cobalt atomic weight is 58.93, nickel is 58.71. So here this is having more atomic mass, it should be placed after nickel, but cobalt is before the nickel. So this is another pair. And if you take tellurium and iodine and thorium and protactinium, so if you take tellurium 127.60, here it is 126.90. If you take thorium 232.04, here it is 231.04. So here these pairs are arranged not in accordance with Manliffe periodic law. So that means these pairs will have different arrangement. So that's why these pairs are called anomalous pairs. These pairs are called anomalous pairs. So these pairs are not arranged according to their atomic masses. So this is in the reverse order. So that's why these are called anomalous pairs. So he cannot explain this property. So these are the different drawbacks of this Mendeleev periodic table. So you have to remember all these points in examinations. Which of the following is true regarding this Mendeleev periodic table? He asked like this. So you have to remember all these points. Okay, thank you. I hope all of you like the session. So please subscribe, share and like the session. Thank you.